Hi guys, good day to you. I hope you are doing quite well today. This is another series of tech from the scratch. So thank you very much if you watched the first video and you appreciate it and you want to move on with this. Like I mentioned in the first video, this series is going to be focusing, or this playlist is going to be focusing on people who know nothing or very little about using the computer and yet they want to come into tech. If you are well advanced, this may not make any, this may look too elementary to you, but the essence is to help those who want to start but do not know how to start. So if you have one person, you can share so that we can keep helping people to get into tech. Okay, so today we are just going to be concentrating on how to create a folder. So if you boot up your computer, you're going to see uh, things on this is called the desktop, first of all. You're going to see icons. These are called the icons. So the icons can be applications, they can be folders, they can be documents. You know, if you have them on the desktop this way, sometimes you want to organize them into envelopes. That is, you know that yes, whatever you have here is related to this. So that is where you need folders, okay? Say for instance, I know that this is a folder, this is a folder, this is a folder, as well as this, okay? This is an application, this is an application, this is an application, obviously, this also, as well as others, right? There are no files on this desktop, but I can quickly maybe save this one. This is one of the documents I want to use to do something. So if I come to this and I say save as, and I can come to the desktop, don't bother about this if it's too bulky for you to understand now. I'm just trying to say that you have this is a text file, okay? I can have it also. I can even have some other documents maybe saved to this place. Let me see if I'm able to save this as desktop. Browse to desktop. So remember, the essence of this is not to teach you how to save documents. No, we are going to get to how to save document, but I'm just showing you this is a document. Okay, let's put this one here, drag it here. Okay, so the way I move them is I click and hold, that is left click, hold, and then I will drag it. Okay, so that's for that. So I can also have, let me bring up my Excel. So if you don't know how these things are, don't worry. I'm just trying to show you the desktop basically. So I'm just trying to, let me open one, and then I want to save this as desktop as well. Okay, browse to desktop. I'll just come to desktop and I do this. Yeah, so that will make me achieve what I want to explain to you. Now let's come back to this. This is documents. So on the desktop, you can have documents. This is a text file, which is txt file. This is a Word document, and this is an Excel document or the Excel file, right? So the way it is, here is folder and here are applications. Of course, there are other applications too, right, that are under here. All these, I think all of them now are applications, right? And this is the recycle bin. This one comes by default, on each desktop. But I think other ones are the ones that I put there myself. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to look at is how to sort this document. I can sort them by type. So if I sort them by type, item types, then the folders will be together on the same line, right? And then the next line, you see the what's it called, the Excel file, and then the Word file, and all applications are all together in the same arrangement. So you know that we've created this, and this, excuse me, this on this call. So what we want to do is to create a folder, and we are going to move these ones there and call them tech from the scratch. So I will right click, so the mouse has 2 clicks. So right clicking on it, if you left click, nothing happens. So in case you are looking for which one is left and which one is right, just come to the desktop here. I think you will understand that. I'm clicking the left and nothing is happening. You can hear the sound of my click. So if I right click, I'm going to see view, sort by, refresh, undo, rename, and all of that. So I will see new. I'll bring my cursor all the way down to new, and then I will drag it on that same line. If I move it down, it will go, but on that same line where I am, right, I will move it towards the right, and then I will see folder. I will click on it. So if I click on this folder, I can, when it is blue checked, when everything is highlighted in blue, if I start typing and I say tech from the scratch, I'll just hit enter. Remember, if you watch the previous video, you will see we have explained the enter key, right? If you press the enter, it's just going to be here. So the next thing I want to do is, you see this, I'm going to click on it. This our, you remember when we saved this, I will click on it, left click on it, and hold it and drag it to the folder we just created, and then it will say move to tech from the scratch. You leave your click, excuse me, so you just move it in, you leave it, and then it enters. Remember, nothing was, unfortunately I did not open it to show you when I just newly created it, nothing was inside, it was way empty. So now you can see that inside of it you only have payloads, right? I want to move, I want to move another file into this. So one way I can do that is again to click on this goal scores, remember, and I will drag it here and I will leave it. So if I open it now, I expect, okay, I know why it's not copying. So it's saying couldn't complete because the file is open in Excel. Fine. So I'm going to close that out. I think this is it. So I'm going to click on it again and move it here, and I will leave it. I'm expecting that I have 2 files inside of here now. Yeah, which is the goal score version 1 and then the payloads. Another option I have is, you see up here, it is showing double rectangles. Is it rectangles or square? So I would have to click on it to bring it down this way, and I can click on, remember that I still have it here, right, and here it is open, so I can come to the auto recover that we saved and just move it right inside here and leave it. Okay, so it's still open somewhere, the same complaint, so I have to close it. So this is actually telling you what you need to do when things like this happen. I think, what's the name of that? It should be this one, right? Yeah, it should be that one. So I will either try again or try to move it from the beginning. Let me just cancel, and then I'm going to move it again and see. Yeah, so it's inside of it. So that is how you can move these files into those folders, so that anyone who comes to my laptop or desktop, as the case may be, excuse me, I just did another folder, but I wanted to just sort the desktop. So I will say sort, and I will just do maybe by size or type, item types, and then the folder that we just created, tech from the scratch, is here, right? So now that it is here, one very important thing is that right inside the tech from the scratch, I can, I have moved in documents already. I can also move in folders into the folder. So for example, I by accident created this new folder. I will use this opportunity to show you how to rename. Remember that when I created that new one here, I said once it is blue highlighted, start typing the name. Um, tech from scratch, right? let's just do from let's just do tech scratch from this one, and fine, I'll hit enter. So I will either hit enter or click outside and it will just name it, right? But this one has been accidentally, without without first of all clicking on the typing the name of the folder. I had clicked outside. How do I rename these folders, right? So how you rename a folder is, first of all, if you go on the folder and you right click, you have see rename down here. So you can first of all highlight the folder, right click on it, and then come here to rename it. Okay, so when you are renaming this folder, you can say uh take from the scratch, or scratch, or no, let's just say keyboard lesson. Keyboard lesson. Okay, all right. And then this one is rename. Okay, you see how it was renamed. Another way to rename it is just to come here and double click on it. Sorry, just to come here. Maybe that's not going to work for me now, but you just right click on it and click on rename. I think it's easier that way. So you're going to see this folder creation, maybe, right? Now this one, I don't want you to call it tech from the scratch. Let's say there's another lesson and it's about launching applications. So we just do this, and then we do rename, and then we say application launch. Is that launch? No, there's no N. So I'll do, and remember my navigation keys, right? In the previous lesson. So I could use the back navigation key to go back. Please, if you've not watched the previous one, you may have to do that, because that is where the very elementary started from. So I'm just going to hit outside, and here I have these three folders. But this whole thing, I can't be modeling up my desktop this way, because things are going to be coming up, right? That we need to look into. So what I would do is, you see this folder here. This one is the original folder, so that we have those files that we saved earlier. So we can move these folders into this by clicking to drag. You see, move to take from the scratch. I will leave it, and it's inside there now. So if I open it, I'm going to see folder creation inside take from the scratch. So the same way we did, I can now come here and click and drag and drop, click and drag and drop, and every file, every folder is now here. So that what happens is that if I come to my desktop, first of all, I'm here. So the next thing I do is just to double click on it, and then I will have those folders inside here. I can decide to move this in between, right? I can decide to move. So what happens is that you see this folder creation is empty folder, but I have moved the text file to application launch. So it's going to be here. Let's say, for example, I want to distribute this, and okay, let me expand this. I want to move this to the second folder. Remember, the second folder, which is folder creation, is empty. So I want to move this one, auto recovery save, to folder 2, which is for folder creation. And then again, lesson, what's it called, keyboard lesson, is again empty, right? And I want to move this one back into keyboard lesson, so everything is clean. So anything that has to do with application launch, I'm going to enter here, and I will see all of them here. They can be video file, they can be text file, they can be picture file, they can be anything, right? Then if I want to deal with anything on folder creation, I know that everything is here, video, everything about it is here. Then if I want to go to keyboard lesson, I know that everything is here. So right inside folder, you can create folders. That is what we call subfolder. Because from here now, we have the parent folder, which is the tech from the scratch. And then inside of here, I have what is called the subfolders. Right inside here, I can as well create other new folders and name them according to how the project is going, right? And just keep creating. Right inside this one, I can as well create new folder, right? And then right inside this one, I can as well create new folder, and I can keep on sorting my things that way. So that if I click, if I want to look at the way it is going, take from the scratch, to new folder 2 to new folder, right? So if I enter here now and I create another folder, that is how the expansion will keep going. You can look at it. So if I want to go back to the original folder, I can click on here, or I can decide to use, if I click far, I can decide to use the left, this arrow, backward arrow, to go to the original folder, or right inside that folder I can as well just come and click on take from the scratch. So that is it. Now what happens is that even within the parent folder I can decide to delete folders. So now let's see how you delete folders. So how to delete folder is you right click on the folder, and down below it you're going to see the option to delete, right? So I'm just going to delete, and you can see there is, maybe that was done by mistake. Okay, let me do an obvious folder that will take care of the naming. So let's do application folder, and I'll right click on this and I see delete. I see delete and it's gone, right? Now there may be files that I have in that folder before I even deleted unconsciously. So the way I can recover this is for me to come back to the desktop. I'm going to see what is called recycle bin on the desktop. I'll double click on it, and then if I check very well, you look at it, what I just deleted, application folder. So I can click on it, and up here I should see option to recover from recycle bin. Hold on, recover deleted item, or just double click on it. That's what I see here now. If you double click on the folder, right, so it will tell you that application launch property, deleted date was this, created date was this, and then you just click on restore, and then it's going to go back to where it is and it's not going to be here anymore. I want to show you two things. If you come back to this, you would see the application launch yet now coming up here. It will get deleted. Okay, then I can also come here, and that one is gone. There's no option to restore anymore, right? I can come here, instead of deleting and recovering, I would say, okay, I'll hold down my shift key and then I'll press delete. It will also ask me, are you sure you want to permanently delete this folder? So the way you can permanently delete a file is for you to press down the shift key and the delete button. So what I mean is that if you want to delete this file permanently, you press down the shift and you press the delete, and then it will ask you, are you sure you want to permanently delete this? So the difference between the delete, just coming here to delete it, gone, because it is going to be resident in the recycle bin. There was no warning because you had option to recover. But if you select the folder and you press shift and you press delete, it will ask you, are you sure you want to permanently delete this? Keyboard lesson, delete, sorry, date created was on 23rd of this, so I can say delete, and it's not going to be found in my recycle bin. So you have to be very, very sure before you do permanent delete. But mind you, if you do delete, it does not leave the memory of your system. So for example, you have files, you have folders that are taking space up in your laptop, on your system generally, and you want to delete so that you can create space. If you do delete, it goes to remain in the recycle bin of the machine, and the machine is still going to have those items saved in its memory. So the only way to have the memory cleaned up is to go wipe off the file or the folders, the documents from the recycle bin, or you want to just do shift delete so that it can permanently leave your system and create memory space for you. So I'm sure that you're able to learn how to create folder, how to create subfolder, how to rename folders, how to delete folder, and how to restore deleted folder, as well as the difference between delete and shift delete, where delete is to delete the item to send it to recycle bin, and shift delete is to permanently delete the item. So thank you very much. Like I mentioned in the first video, this is a movement for those who want to start tech from scratch with zero experience and knowledge of the computer. So hit on the comment section, ask me questions that you want me to provide answer to. I will dedicate time to make sure that I provide the required response, satisfactory response to you. So if you like this content, please hit on the like button, subscribe, and share it with those your friends that want to start from the scratch, very, very scratch in tech. Thank you and have a wonderful day.